profess Jesus, but do not possess Jesus. They profess him. They talk about him. They tell people, I believe this. They profess him, but yet they do not possess him. They have religion, but they don't have redemption. They've been baptized, but never truly born again. And Paul in 2 Corinthians is saying, test yourselves. Translated, judge yourselves. Judge yourselves. Because the reality is when we're standing before an almighty God, when we're standing there taking an account for our lives, it'll be too late to test yourself. Too late. And he says, honestly, some will be disqualified. He says some will fail. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, first off, I was not a great student. I really wasn't. But when I was in school, I really wished that my teacher would grade on a curve. That my teacher would grade on a curve because if the class high was 82% instead of 100, then my 70-ish at the very least looked better, doesn't it? I think that's sometimes why we are so good at pointing out the faults of others, talking about them in not so nice ways, using words like, they dropped the ball, they passed this on, they failed. Because ultimately, I think it's hard to elevate ourselves when we don't try really hard, but if we can bring down the percentage of someone else, maybe our percentage doesn't look so bad. If we can point out the flaws of other people and how they don't cut the mustard and how they're missing the mark on some things, maybe my laziness in my faith won't look so bad. But here's the reality. Teachers that grade on a curve, they compare your score to someone else's score. They're comparing your score to someone else's score and seeing the average. But the truth is, one day we are going to stand before this Almighty God, and Almighty God is not going to compare your score with anyone else's. God is simply going to compare you with Jesus. Heaven is this place of perfection, so the test that we're taking today is pass or fail. The test that you will eventually have in front of the Almighty God is pass or fail. It's all or nothing. And so as we take this exam together today, I want us to take this seriously. This is not something to just fall asleep through. I want us to take seriously how we answered these questions. And so question one. Question one was, not everyone who believes in God goes to heaven. True or false? True. True. We are going to find answers to all 5 of these questions here in James chapter 2. And I want to go ahead and start picking this up. And let's not take